How to change the layout for a pro gallery on your Wix website. Hey everyone and welcome, I hope you're all doing great. In this video I'll show you step by step how to do so. And we're going to get started right away. I'm just going to click on edit site and open up our site editor. And I'm going to show you how to add one and then also how to change the layout, whether it's going to be before or after you added the actual gallery. And by the way, I know it says Wix Studio from the top left corner, but this is going to be for the default Wix website. I'm not going to be using Wix Studio. So I'm just going to click on edit site and let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to actually add one with the layout that you actually like to have. And then I'm going to show you how to change a pre-existing layout or you have a gallery already and you just want to change the layout for it. I'm also going to show you how to do so. So first, for adding one is very simple. First you want to select the page where you want to add it to. In my case, I'm just going to leave it to the home page. And then just go ahead and and add an empty section for it. So just go ahead and make some space for it is pretty much all I'm saying here. And I'm just going to increase the space here just so we have some, like so. I think this is good enough, or just a little bit less. Okay, so now that we have some space, we simply just go to add elements from the top left corner. And once we click on this, we should be able to find gallery. And from gallery, we should also be able to find pro galleries. So this is going to be where you choose the layout first. And obviously, if you don't know what pro galleries are, you can showcase your photos, videos, and text in the highest quality online. So you can add your images, videos, text, whatever you actually want here. So you have a bunch of layouts within the Pro Galleries section. So you have thumbnail layout, you have the grid layout, stacked, masonry, you have also collage, showcase, slider. There's plenty that you can actually go in and choose from. If it's your first time, go ahead and browse between them, see which one's going to suit you best and go with it. I'm just going to start with the basic one, which is the grid one. And then we can just feel free to change the layout later on. So I'm just going to drag and drop it right in the middle like so. I can't even get them. There you go. All right, so once you actually add it, we should be able to feel free to adjust, the size for it. We can feel free to drag this up. We can change the stretch so it is going to be full width if you want to. I'm just going to leave it as it is for the time being. I'm not going to change that. And then, we can obviously feel free to change the media by clicking on Manage Media. But this is not our discussion for today. That's pretty much how to change the layout. So let's say we already added the grid one, which we just did. You change the media and everything. It's pretty much a good gallery. We're just not happy with the layout anymore. We just want to change it. So let's just go and change the layout for it. It is going to be very simple. First step is click on the actual gallery. There you go. And then you simply just click on settings, which should be right next to manage media. Click on settings. And then from settings, you should go to the second option, which should say layout. So click on layout. And then from layout, you're going to also find all the different layouts that are available for pro galleries. So you can actually see we have collage, masonry, we have thumbnails, we have sliders, slideshow, columns, strips, bricks. So you have plenty that you can go ahead and choose from. So I prefer to go for the thumbnails one, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on thumbnails real quick, and you can actually see that it changes everything here for us. Now for you, it could actually be a little bit off when it comes to size and stuff, but don't worry, you can feel free to fix it. One of the main things that could happen once you actually change a layout is that you may have or find yourself with plenty of space down here. You simply just, if you see this arrow here at the end of the section, just go in and double click on it. It's going to remove pretty much all the empty space in between. So we can also do the same here. We can do the same thing here by just dragging this up, double click on here, and we should have some space. But I like to keep some space here and move this down a little bit. So once we do this, we can just feel free to start adjusting the actual layout itself. So if you just click on settings and click on layout and now click on customize layout, we should be able to find different options for this specific layout. So in this case, it's the thumbnails one. So once we click on that, we should be able to find the gallery ratio, whether it's going to be manual or fixed. If it is fixed, then you can just go ahead and change it to which size it's going to actually be fixed as. So I'm just going to turn it back to manual, and it does not actually revert back, which is unfortunate. Anyways, we can just go ahead and go to the thumbnail resize to make it fit or crop. It's up to you. We also have the thumbnail placement. So this is going to be for the, because it's a thumbnail layout, it does have the main image as the main one here in the middle. And then beneath you're going to find the rest of the images, which you can click on, and then it's just going to become the main image. So for the thumbnail one, you can actually go in and change these little images, whether it's going to be at the bottom, which is the default one, or the left, as you can see, or on the top, or on the right side. So all of these options are available for you to choose from, and I'm just going to go and keep them to the left. Or I think actually the bottom one is going to be the best one for me, personally. We also have the thumbnail size. So for these images, you can actually go and increase or decrease the size for them. Again, this is going to be personal preference, much like everything else in the settings here. You also have more things like loop images, so it's actually going to go ahead and loop them. So it's going to automatically slide, which is the other option here, which is slide automatically. And then you also have intervals or continuous. So I'm just going to leave it as intervals, and you're going to go ahead and set up how many seconds between each image. So if it's 7, it's going to be 7 seconds for this one, and then automatically it's going to change for the next one, and so on. And you also have the option to pause on hover. So let's say I was the person visiting this website, and if I'm hovering over this image, it's not going to automatically go to the next one because I have my cursor on top of it. This is pretty much what it means here. And then you also have more things like design settings, thumbnail spacing. So if you want to create some spacing between them, feel free to do so. I'm just going to leave it at 6. And we are good to go. So I'm just going to set it up to be fixed, and I'm just going to change it so it is 16 by 9. I think it's going to look better this way. And obviously these settings that we just saw together here for the thumbnail and stuff is only going to be for the thumbnail one. Each other layout is going to have its own set of settings, so just make sure that you know this. And also, we're not done here. We can actually change more things like the arrows, and design wise you can change a lot of stuff. For example, if we just click on the gallery and click on stretch, I'm just going to stretch it to become full screen. I like it this way. And then we can just go in and click on it and click on settings and do more things here like design. If we click on design, we can actually change the overlay and icons. Text, we can feel free to change them. Buttons also. Navigation arrows is very important, and I'm going to change them right now actually. It's pretty much these arrows on the right and on the left. So I'm just going to change it to this one. You can actually see that it does actually change to the icon that we actually choose. So yeah. Feel free to go for whichever one that you actually like the most. And then for the arrow background, whether it's going to be shadow, box, or none. So I'm just going to leave it as shadow, even though it's barely visible. And then we can actually go in and change the arrow size. We can also change the arrow color, so we can make it gray or something. It's completely up to you. And then whether it's going to be on gallery or outside gallery, which is also interesting, but I'm just going to keep it on gallery. I mean, it's much better this way. And then we also have more design options for more things here, like the slide animations and item style and expand mode and so on. And when it comes to advanced settings, you also have more things here. So play with sounds and play videos on hover, or you have plenty more options here to go with. But again, we discussed the main thing here, which is changing the actual layout. Again, it's very, very simple. But I highly recommend that you first turn off the stretch before you change the layout for the gallery. Click on settings, layout, and just go ahead and change it to whichever one that you actually like. With that being said, hopefully you found this video to be informative and helpful, and thanks for watching.